We start with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Arizona, they didn't think too hard here. Everyone's like, are they going to try to do what the Texans did to them last year? Are they going to trade down a couple slots, get an extra pick next year, and maybe take Neighbors instead of Marvin Harrison? No. They went and they got the number one wide receiver in the draft. And I think they did the right thing because we've seen what Kyler Murray can do when he has a true number one wide receiver. That Cardinals team, when DeAndre Hopkins' first healthy year, that offense was unstoppable. I think they nailed this here.
Yeah, they absolutely hit a home run. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a difference maker out of the gate. Day one starter, instant impact player, as we always try to put it. He's one of three wide receivers, in my opinion, in a draft class where any of the three could have been the number one in prior draft classes at all. So like you might not go wrong getting Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze, but you're getting the safest bet, in my opinion, with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Is Darius Robinson going to be able to push that defense who got a lot better towards the end of the year last year? Is he going to be able to help them go to the next level?
This is a guy that's going to move inside, outside. He is a guy that you can flip to the interior and he can get some interior pressure that way. So he's more of an anchor style defensive end. I think it's a good pickup. I gave him an A- on that pick, not obviously terrible. So I think first round overall for these guys, I gave them an A for the first round. In terms of day two and day three, they hit again on another Senior Bowl guy in Max Melton, the cornerback from Rutgers. He's going to be a good player, I think. In my opinion, he'll be a guy that they might be able to start right away. He's got some versatility to him as well. He can play inside, outside, meaning slot or outside corner. And then the
Trey Benson was a great pickup. What he showed last year towards the end, honestly, he kind of put Florida State on his back when they lost their quarterback. Without Trey Benson, they wouldn't have that end of season success. So
he went into the combine and posted great numbers.
Yeah, and getting him to pair with James Conner, who he's kind of a horse. Like he's going to miss a couple games this year. We will see some Trey Benson on the football field this year. All right. So overall, Arizona Cardinals draft grade, Football Scout 365. Brandon,
I gave him a B. I did have him at like a B plus. I think that they did a good job. Obviously, day one, everybody's going to get, if you don't get an A on day one, then we're going to nitpick at you and try to figure out what and why we don't feel that way. But I feel like they did a good job day one. Day two, it was mixed. Day three, solid B. So they had a lot of, like I said, draft capital can drag your grade down. I know that sounds silly, but they filled most of their needs at the end of the day.
The San Francisco 49ers. Well, it's been rumored that Debo or Brandon Ayuk is going to get traded. The Ricky Pearsall trade makes sense. And man, that guy, it fits the 49ers. They go out and they get the athlete because that's what that guy is. Yeah. Just his body control in the air. A1 from day one. Big fan. Brandon, how'd they do?
Now, I gave him a B overall. I'll throw that out there. B plus with the Ricky Pearsall pickup. He is a freak athlete. If you looked at the combine numbers, you can see jumped over 40 inches, has the elite 40-yard dash time. Then you watch his tape, it all translates. So I'm not going to knock him too much for that pickup, but you got to figure that out. You got to keep one or the other, Ayuk or Debo, on the roster. You're not just going to depend on Ricky Pearsall, and obviously have CMC in the backfield. Day two, Renardo Green at corner, very underrated dude, locked down Malik Neighbors in their matchup, by the way, against LSU. Love Renardo Green, by the way. Very sneaky corner in what I believe is a very deep cornerback class. They got him in a good spot. The next dude, Isaac Guerendo, big favorite in the scouting community, a lot of speed there. Just another dude, kind of, I feel like they're looking, everybody, this offense is probably looking for that Raheem Mostert, to go with Christian McCaffrey. So if you go to the Miami Dolphins pickup of Jalen Wright, it's the same kind of mindset. They're looking for that. Guerendo kind of gives you that. Jacob Cowing is a sneaky steal, and I know you know about him, Woody, from Arizona. A very, very good receiver, pound for pound.
Arizona's Woody's second favorite football team in college.
Listen, they got one of the best quarterbacks in college football, so we'll see how he does.
Noah Frittata is incredible.
Frittata.
Yeah.
He's a breakfast dish. Yeah, San Francisco, they're great they're a great drafting franchise. So I
Yeah.
trust a lot of these picks. They're gonna hit on a few of them.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams. We're moving. They had some
Yeah,
big
we're
shoes to
moving.
fill. Aaron Donald, gone,
Mm.
retired, greatest defender of all time. What did we bring up on the preview draft show? Oh, well, there's another undersized defensive lineman that a lot of people
Yeah.
like. Oh, is he going to step in and fit? Well, they certainly decided to try. Rated
Yep.
this. They ended
Hey.
up grabbing.
Yeah, my big thing too is they went out and they got another guy too in the third round in Tyler Davis from Clemson. So in my opinion, like you know how we used to talk about Tyreek Hill being replaced on the offensive side of the football for Kansas, but replace him in the aggregate kind of mindset with several different players. I feel like that's what the Rams can try to do here is try to find a rotation on the defensive line that can kind of fit. Okay, this guy has a particular skill set like Aaron Donald, and this guy has that other particular skill set. You might not get the whole thing in one guy, but you can rotate different guys in and out to kind of replace him in that kind of way. The pickup of Jared Verse is amazing at pick number 19, a guy who was getting top 10 publicity a year ago. If he would have come out into the NFL draft a year ago, NIL somehow kept him there. I don't know how. Top 10 money versus NIL money, not the same.
Have you been to Florida State and seen the women?
Maybe that's what it is. The pickup of Blake Corum, though, at running back, I mean, again, in this offense is going to be, I'm telling you right now, he's in the same building as Jim Harbaugh. It's crazy that he's not going to be playing with Jim Harbaugh, but being paired with Sean McFreaking-Vay, dude, like, are you kidding me? And he's like the same kind of running back, too, as Kyron Williams. You got the same dude. 1-2 punch.
Crazy 1-2 punch, honestly, because like
He's
everyone's biggest question about Kyron Williams last year with his production, it wasn't whether this is real. It's real. It was, can he keep this workload going?
Yeah,
Now
you don't have to now.
He doesn't have to. Yeah,
exactly.
You're bringing in Blake Corum, dude. Corum. Here's a nugget for fantasy. All the years and every snap I've watched of this guy. Okay, can't deny that. Nobody can say that I didn't. Blake Corum in the red zone. When he's within 20 to 25 yards of the red zone, that's where he's the home run hitter. He's not necessarily the home run hitter from 80 yards, but he's that home run hitter once he gets close to the red zone and he making people miss. Once he hits that second level and he can make a defender miss and he gets into the third level, good luck bringing him down. That's all I got to say. Like, corners ain't bringing him down. Safeties aren't really bringing him down that easily. He's breaking tackles once he gets into that third level. He's just got a knack for it when he gets closer and closer to the end zone. So pay attention to that as a fantasy football person, whether that means anything to you or not. I think that's something to keep an eye on.
And one thing also that we fail to acknowledge is because the Rams don't often draft in the first round because they spend all those picks that they traded.
I mean,
the Rams
they haven't drafted since Jared Goff.
Exactly. And the Rams draft extremely well in the later rounds.
Yeah.
A lot of difference makers on days.
Cam Kitchens is another dude, safety out of Miami. This was a guy who was rated much higher than this, last year coming into the start of this process. He had a higher rating in terms of where he would land on big boards. So I feel like they're getting a sneaky steal right there. Brennan Jackson, the edge rusher from Washington State, another kind of under the radar guy in that way. I brought up Tyler Davis already from Clemson, very developmental guy, but a big body in the middle of the defensive line. Bo Lemur was another dude at center. Like, they hit on a lot of dudes on day 3 that could be actual NFL starters. We'll look back 3 years and say, wow, 2 or 3 of those guys from day 3, we should circle this and come back and really look at this even in 2 years, maybe at the end of next year, and say, wow, that guy was really, really good.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, let's speak on, sorry, my brain's getting a little fried
I'm
here.
getting there too.
Seahawks.
It's been a long one. Seattle Seahawks. They went out. They got a big boy in the middle. They got Byron Murphy. They went out. They fired their whole coaching staff. They're starting over from scratch. This is a new era in Seattle. They're taking down the Legion of Boom players all over the walls. they're building it up from the ground up. So where do you start? You start on the foundation. You went out and got the biggest man in the draft.
Yeah, I
that-
mean,
Taking down the Legion of Boom players is a weird move.
It was. It is weird, honestly.
This goes back to the discussion again, the importance of interior defensive linemen. It's growing and growing. That positional value is going up for interior defensive linemen. You're going to see them get paid more and more. Byron Murphy is that guy. He was the top graded defensive lineman on almost everybody's draft board, has top 10 potential in almost any other draft class. So they get a steal, in my opinion, at pick number 16. This is Mike McDonald-led team overall. Defensive minded coach coming in here and getting a guy like that. Perfect pairing, in my opinion. And then you've got Christian Haynes. A lot of people had him graded as the number 1 interior offensive lineman. Another very good pickup in the second round on day 2. And then day 3, they go out. They didn't really hit home runs. They got a lot of solid role player types out there. AJ Barner, an excellent blocking tight end from Michigan, an underrated receiver. Not going to blow anything up as a receiver, but a big body that can block. The other name that really stands out is DJ James, the corner from Auburn, another potential guy who could step up. Not that familiar with Mike Jarrell, the tackle from Finley. Probably should do my research on him. But again, that's part of the process, is going back and looking at the guys that got drafted that we did not see. But I think overall, they hit the home run on day 1 and day 2, and they got good value on day 3. They had a lot of picks on day 3, by the way.